Well, hey Aries, it's Cardinal Signs Week, and that means you. And we're going to look at what is beginning. There are forces out there in the heavens, and they tell us something new is starting. Not only do we have Jupiter starting out in Aries, your sign, the first in the zodiac, but also we have some 9-month energy here. A little beginning of a process of birth or rebirth. So let's see what's going on. We're going to start with an overall card, and then I have questions as we go along. All right. This is the first reading of this I've done, so you're going to help me figure this out. I know you will. Okay. I want to give a shout out to, whoa, the devil. This is what is beginning. All right. Well, this is a tough story here where there is something in your mind very often, somewhere in your stories that you tell. It can be a narrative of codependence. It can be addiction. And here we see this fairy who has been convinced by this devil figure to come join her, and she just has to give up her wings. So, there's a reason why we do this. There's a payoff, but we don't really see the consequences immediately. So it looks like you, Aries, are going to be confronting this talk in your head that the devil, it's a really great thing to begin confronting here. We're all uncomfortable in dealing with stuff and starting stuff, but that's a doozy, Aries. Let's see. We'll get you some advice. Okay. We have underlying this lots of fire and okay, so we've got some good energy to support you through this. First, you have an ace of fire. That is your willpower. And it could be part of your problem often, but this is your energy. We have for you also the Chariot, another cardinal energy of Cancer, and this is momentum. There's also this Four of Earth energy. She can be a bit intense and controlling and limiting, kind of a small world view, just holding on to the few things instead of expanding out to see what more you could have. And then we see a change of mind. So if I look at this, it tells me a story, actually, that this confrontation with the devil, which is your negative thoughts or your addictions, what we see here is like all this fire, all this momentum, maybe because we're in Leo season, and then it runs into the Four of Earth. And she's like, I'd rather be safe than confront this. And then we do see a Six of Air, which is in your mind. It says air, sword, your mind. And the story of a Six of Air is moving from choppy waters to another place. We can see sunrise, I think, over there. So it's a definite positive card about the process of confronting and moving away from the devil energy. It makes you smaller than you are. It talks you out of going for the big world view. You're just going to stay safe here. So, but it looks like you have a lot of mojo here, and it runs into your controlling stuff and your security stuff. And we will find out more. We're going to ask the cards to fill in some information here. This has to do with what's happening astrologically, what's happening out there. We've got a lot of things. I guess I'm going to tell you about them as we go along. So usually the tarot does all the talking, but I will make connections for you as we go. So the first thing I want to ask the cards is what Aries knows and can make real in this time of beginning. So what do you know? There's a kind of knowingness that comes in here because of the full moon in Aquarius, which is an airy intellectual energy. And then we have right there with that conjunct Saturn, the taskmaster. That's the part that makes it real. So bringing what you know into reality. So what's this here? As you confront the devil, there is a transformation, death. Very big, very, as I said in the all signs reading, there is nothing you can do. This change is coming in, and you're ready for it. You're ready to make it real. I see that with the energy that you have here, this chariot and this, lots of willpower, lots of fire and passion towards this change. And when you have the devil here as what you're confronting, that's a good thing to have. Secondly, and this has to do with what we looked at before, which is that 18 degrees of Taurus, where we've got the North Node, your future. And it is in Taurus, and it is conjunct Uranus, that revolutionary feeling that's showing us what really matters to you. And here you get, for the second time, your fire, the ace of inspiration. This is your willpower. It is this same card. I'm going to look at this. Here we can see this is giving this little fairy courage as she walks through this dark woods. The crows are guides. They're positive figures in this, but of course go with what you feel about this dark woods. I always feel quite safe in the dark woods. You can see there's flowers, and she's walking into the light here. There's an urban scene ahead. It's almost kind of giving me a feeling of coming out of summer and into the fall school year here. For some of us, that is what is happening. And here in this figure, a more desert vibe. So this is what matters to you, is it's core to you, this fire, this willpower, your agency, and that you're a good starter. An ace is a starting point. Okay, Aries. Now we're also looking at energies from 2021, where we had Uranus square Saturn. So this is an uncomfortable angle. So you have, let me see, Saturn is in Aquarius with the full moon, and then Uranus is in Taurus, and so we can see they make a square 90-degree angle here. And this is bringing us back to the square happened 3 times in 2021, and so you might be kind of revisiting some of that. And this is going to occur again 9 months from now. So this is you revisiting some of your ideas. This is a page of voices, your mind. You're looking again. I like how she's holding her glasses. She's a very curious, chatty energy, the page of voices. She can be associated with social media, if that resonates for you, Aries. But we will find out more upon clarification. I definitely see her looking back over 2021 here. It looks like there was a lot of playfulness here. We see the dancing figures. There's this like music and dancing and all the fun times maybe that you had. Because you're going through this death transformation, Aries, and this is what the astrologer I listened to, Molly McCord, said is happening for all of us right now, that you're leaving something behind, and before you do that, you tend to revisit it. And it looks like a positive remembering here. It looks like a fun time in 2021, or at least you were thinking a lot about having fun in 2021. So there's a little kind of a sense of nostalgia that comes in for me about that may, in your revisiting, we will find out more. Fourth, we're going to ask what the tarot wants you to know. And this is in the category of the revelations and the secrets and truths that are being revealed right now. So this is more nostalgic energy, the 6 of emotions. That's interesting. So this is 6 of Cups, undefended love, inner child work, more, that's why it's associated with the past. Soulmate connections, often could be past lives or in childhood. What I see in this card is this person is thinking about when she was magical here. And so this is kind of going along with this young and sort of fun energy. So this is a part of what you're feeling nostalgic for. And finally, we will ask, and all of this will be clarified. Oh, okay. What is your advice? And we get the High Priestess here. And she says, trust your intuition. Trust what you already know. And that takes us back to our first card, which is the Death card. And this first card was saying that there is a knowing here in this full moon in Aquarius. And there is an ability to make this knowing real, and that what you know is happening and is this transformation. And it appears to be a direct confrontation with the negative thought process, obsessiveness, and the talk in your head that says you don't deserve more, that 4 is enough. You know, there's 10 pentacles ultimately, and to stop and just hang on and cling to 4, it's a small world view. So the devil is blocking you in this 4 of Earth place, and you're destined, because death is here, to change your mind about that. So we will clarify here. So the reason why you're hanging on to this and why this transformation may be uncomfortable, the cards tell us that you need to look at and face some kind of nostalgia, some way that you idealize the past. And you already know this because the High Priestess is here. So both the Page of Voices and the Six of Emotions are telling me that there's something that you idealize and are nostalgic for. I often think of Cancerian energy as nostalgic, and the Chariot is here, card of Cancer, as is the Six of Emotions. So if you have Cancer in your chart, that could be a part of that. Check out your chart. I'll try to remember to put a link under this so that I suggest astro.com. You can get a really nice chart. It's just the one I use. I'm not getting any money to recommend this to you, and they give you this chart for free. And you can see this is mine. I refer to it anytime I listen to astrology. I've taken notes on it, defining terms and everything. But what we're looking at right now is that if you have anything at 18 degrees in any sign, if you have any planets there, that you might be really feeling what's happening out there. So just for fun, check out your chart. It's fun to look at the tarot, what the readings say to you about your sun, moon, rising, your north node, and compare what the astrologers are saying. If you have time for this, I do. I like it. Just check it out. See what you think. You're here. Okay, we're going to clarify using the Tarot of the Wild Unknown what you know and are ready to make real. Looks like a transformation as you begin this process, which appears to be about confronting the devil. Let's find out a little bit more about that. So we get this in your mind, 8 of Swords, that you feel trapped. It feels scary out there. You're not. That's in your mind. You can open these beautiful monarch butterfly wings and fly away. And it was recently pointed out by another reader to notice, she's holding on to a truth here. So this is your advice, right? You know what you know. And this is what the Death card is in the place of, what you know and what you can make real, which is this transformation. So there is more thought process, a decision here. I see an eclipse. There's an eclipse coming up in Taurus. I believe it's in October. Check my work. But this is the beginning of this process. It's going to end in October. So that seems relevant to me here. What else? We have the Father of Swords. Much different energy. So I read this as like you feel trapped. You have a decision between being trapped and being this Father of Swords. He holds this beautiful rainbow sword representing the truth, the intellect. Whatever King of Swords I see a deep, smart person who has learned how to combine the truth and the integrity that comes from the truth, including intellectual ideas, and the heart, justice, in this case represented by the rainbow here on this King of Swords. So the transformation is simply in your mind, and that is heralded here in our 6 of air energy, where you can cross over to here where it's a new day dawning and peaceful waters. The unknown ahead, right? There's death. It's a transformation. It appears to be a dilemma between the mindset that you're trapped, even though you're actually holding on to the truth, right? You can fly. And the intelligence of the King of Swords, the heart intelligence of the King of Swords. I feel like as you confront the devil, that you, and because you're given the priestess as for their support for what you know, that you already know. And I'm going to say, again, citing my yoga instructor, that there is the unstruck place in your heart that has never been hurt that knows that the devil is wrong and that you can have a big, beautiful, abundant life that is full of love and truth. The truth that is inspired and that has what matters to you. So this card here about what really matters to you as you go through this process. This has to do with that Uranian energy at the North Node, which is your destiny. And again, you can check on your chart to see where your North Node may be. And you're unloading a lot. You're discovering what doesn't fit anymore. And you are focusing in on what does inspire you and motivate you and what you want to get started here as a cardinal sign. So we see this Ace of Inspiration, which echoes the same card here. So really starting out on a journey to somewhere new kind of a feel in this. So we get the Mother of Swords. She has clarity. She acts with the truth. She will cut people out. That's the removing energy, that Uranian revolution energy. There's your 4 of Pentacles that we already saw here, right? This intense gal. Okay. I can see that clarity and control matter to you. And the Empress. This is the feminine, nurturing, earth energy. This is that Taurian. This is where the North Node is. It's in Taurus with the Empress. Sorry, I'm just looking at everything here relative to the astrology. So there's this, this is what matters to you is the truth and having clarity. And you're definitely wanting comfort. That's that Empress energy. It's sort of an exaggeration of this. I feel like you're inspired towards a more expansive view of what security is. It's a much more healthy and less controlled. I mean, the Empress is in and of herself a full expression of sovereignty, of self-sovereignty. She's able to make anything that she wants. all in and of herself. She doesn't even need a partner. We do see the Father and Mother of Swords here, so we see this air Aquarian energy on the table quite a bit. And I guess I can kind of see the square relationship between the mother and father, that there is a difficulty, because she is often read as a bit cold, whereas he's got the rainbow sword. So there's a part of you that can be quite practical and very actively removing anything that stands in the way of your practical needs. Okay, so let's see. This seems related here to what you are revisiting. Let's see what we find here. The nostalgia here. There's your Ace of Wands a third time. Do you think this matters to you? This fire, this inspiration? Absolutely. It's like you had an inspiration in 2021. Okay. The Emperor. This is your card. This is about who you are, your identity. Fantastic. It's also about structural power, how things should be, I guess I'm thinking. And yeah, more energy of self-sovereignty, a very solitary energy. This is the Empress in Waiting, the Nine of Pentacles. It's a lovely home that you make and fill with abundance. You know, there's not 9 pentacles. I mean, there's not 4, there are 9 pentacles in this Nine of Pentacles image. So this is what you are revisiting. It's like you got inspired about who you are. And I've seen this in your readings for a couple months, Aries, that there's a kind of focus on self, which isn't bad, but your identity has been in play. I know we have Jupiter in Aries, and that makes a lot of sense to me. We also have the wounded healer Chiron is in Aries and currently retrograde. So there's a lot of identity issues up for many people, but it looks like clearly for you, Aries, and that whatever you got inspired to do in 2021, this has to do with who you are all by yourself, and you're re-looking at that. And there's some sense, remember we were seeing her looking at these ideas, which they're young, they're immature ideas. And I think now you have new perspective with which to look at these. Okay, what's hidden? The unexpected truth. Here, the 6 of Cups, 6 of Emotions. Let's find out what's going on with that, Aries. Remember when you were magic? Remember when you were young? Remember who was in your life? Remember the good old days? Let's see. The quit your job card, putting down a burden, the 10 of Wands. You've been carrying something for a long time, and you can put this down. This is a part of your the devil confrontation right here. What else? There's your struggle and your exhaustion and the steps. You know, if you are struggling with addiction, this card suggests you might want to look at that. It can be anything, alcohol, drugs. It could also be love, work. So if that's a thing, but this card is about the long struggle, the exhaustion, all that you've learned, the way that you have stuck through this. Thirdly, this is a beautiful card here under the sacred mountain where we live in Flagstaff, Arizona. Sacred to 14, 17 different indigenous tribes here. This is building something real, making a vision real in the world, wherever you are, under that sacred peak. It's very beautiful expression that comes of all of this work you have done or are doing, I think, here, that you're just beginning to confront this. what is blocking you from the light, And this suggests to me that it's somewhere in the past when you were magical, when you remembered that you were magical. You are magical today. If you think about magic as changing the world by changing your mind, that's exactly what this reading is about. This is a changing your mind reading. This death card is all about changing your mind, what you know, what you can make real. This is about making that real. We can see what matters to you, that you have a lot of security issues with that Four of Pentacles turning into an Empress through the clarity here. We can see your sense of who you are is really something that you've been working through and changing. And maybe, I've been maybe a little bit critical or pushing you out of that to consider the other people that are affected around you. But I can see that that it's an important part of what you've been doing, and you're getting a chance to revisit that from a place of maturity as you embark upon this difficult work of confronting the concepts and ideas, obsessions, addictions that keep your world too small, okay? So your advice is a beautiful High Priestess. Trust your intuition. Let's clarify and find out more. You're really doing amazing work. You're setting out on a difficult journey. Everything that you've done is important to this, and you have lots of willpower and energy, Aries, to do this. I have no doubt you're going to do it. Okay, so there's the Hierophant. Like the Emperor, represents structural power. It can be a teacher, mentor. Let's see what comes through as we look to it in this deck. This lightning bolt and the key, what it comes through as is less about structural power and more about having insight and the key and inspiration. And it's making me think of this Chariot. She's also struck by lightning and igniting her. Is she riding on a broom? It feels like she's riding on a broom. She just seems to be gliding across the night and her skirt is on fire. And she has that momentum you would when your skirt's on fire, right? Although it's probably stop, drop, and roll time when that's happening. Let's see, what else? There is your vision. It's beautiful. It is coming in. Just wait. It's another three of Wands. Remember, you have this three. Very much a feeling of working with others in the Three of Pentacles. The Three of Wands is really this vision, I think, that you had for who you are and how you want to make a home for yourself in the world. And finally, there's your Devil, the self-harm card. Five of Swords. I don't know why I really feel for this little earthworm. And the Five of Swords is about self-harm in that you've won somehow, but it's cost you your integrity in a way, right? Your integrity is cut in two. And you can see that clearly with this one truth. There's a lot here about you holding on to a truth, right? Like we have this one, the Queen here of Swords. We see this sense of being trapped, but holding on to like you're aware of reality. Like you see how you're perhaps in a situation where you're harming yourself. So it looks like the advice is trust whatever kind of insight strikes you. Trust that what you manifested is coming in. And as you deal with this devil, right? What the earthworm is experiencing here is very useful information, right? You know the truth. You have the sword multiple ways here. It's a new truth. and it is right here next to an Ace of Wands, which is the willpower, the fire that you need to directly confront the devil. Underlying on this deck, Father of Cups. There's the emotional depth, a quiet figure who listens to others instead of talking about himself, but an emotionally mature energy. And I sense that in your reading, Aries. I sense emotional maturity that will guide you through what appears to be happening in your mind, but is connected to the heart, right? So this Father of Cups reminds me to remind you to know your heart, know the emotional depth here. Like this is your other cups, emotions, heart card, the Six of Emotions. There's something in the past that you're working through in order to free your mind and have clarity that takes you out of the control of the devil, so that you don't make the mistake that this cautionary tale, this fairy where she has sacrificed her wings, her freedom, that's this sensation. And you can see what you know is you can see the death moth here rising, flying up from your mind opening. It's a fantastic reading, Aries. It's complicated. This is an uncomfortable time. There's a lot out there happening to us, and this appears also to be a part of the ongoing journey of the Aries who watch this channel. So let me know what you think of the reading. I love comments, and you have to subscribe to comment, but it will simply link to your Google account if you don't. People tell me they don't know how to do it, and I understand. I was completely blocked initially and unable to navigate YouTube, but you can figure it out. I can see you've got a lot more on your mind here, and however you come to this channel, I'm glad you did. Have a beautiful day.